So let's continue with the chapter, The Enemy. Till now, we have read that Dr. Sadao and Hannah, when they saw this injured man near the sea coast, they were confused what to do. They had no idea because this man was a white man. He was a runaway soldier of the Navy Army. He was a captured soldier who had this injury, who had a wound at his back. He was shot by a bullet, and the bullet was still inside his body. Though they decided to throw the man into the sea, but then because he was injured badly, and Dr. Sudor, being a doctor, realized that throwing him into the sea or leaving him there would almost be leaving him to death. So they decided to take him to their house, treat him, give him medical attention, and then they'll be handing him over to the police. So both Hannah and Dr. Sadao brought the man in their house. They let him. They made him comfortable on the bed, in the room which belonged to Dr. Sadao. And because now his father was no more, so he brought this man into his room, and he made him comfortable there by giving him quilt and everything. Now the man was very untidy, so he needed to be cleaned before his wound was examined and before medical attention could be given to him. So Hannah called Yumi. Yumi was the nanny of the children, so she was called to take care of the patient, to pay attention to the bleeding man. But when Yumi came inside and she found that the man was an Englishman, she was horrified and she denied to clean it. She simply told Hannah that she has never cleaned a white man and she's not going to clean him also. Now, when Dr. Sudao told the servants were told by Dr. Sudao that there was an Englishman in the house and he was in a bad condition. He had to be given immediate medical aid. The servants didn't approve of it. Rather, the gardener said that he would have been killed he would have been killed at so many instances. First by the bullet shot, then by the river, then by the spiked stones. But if still the doctor wanted to save him, that might bring curse to him. So Hannah, though, didn't approve of this thing. She didn't believe of all these superstitions, but in a very courteous manner, she told the servants, she told the gardener that she would be conveying this thing to their master. So ultimately, Hannah had to clean the man herself, and when she was very much scared on cleaning the white man, but she had to do it, and she has no other choice. Uh, she didn't want her husband should touch him, right? But then Dr. Sudor was back into the room with his medical tools as he realized that immediately the man needs to undergo a surgery. The bullet had to be taken out of his body, if otherwise he would collapse. So Dr. Sudor asked for Hannah's help in passing over the things, in helping her, in giving him anesthesia and all that. But Hannah didn't belong to this profession, and she had never seen a surgery any time before, so she was not able to take up, and she was feeling really very uneasy, right? So I'm going to continue till that point. From that point, just give me a second, please. Okay, please start from this point. Very well, she said. This we have done when Yumi denied. Okay, please continue. While she was thinking these thoughts.
While she was thinking these thoughts, though not really liking the man, better now that he was no longer a child, she kept on washing him until his upper body was quite clean. But she dared not turn him over. Where was Sadao? Now her anger was ebbing, and she was anxious again, and she rose, wiping her hands on the wrong towel. Then let the man be chilled. She put the quilt over him.
Please continue further.
Sadaf, she called softly. He had been about to come in when she called. His hand had been on the door, and now he opened it. She swore he had brought his emergency bag and that he wore his surgeon's coat. Hannah called out to Sadaf.
He had been on the door when she called him. He opened the door. Hannah saw that Sadao was carrying his surgeon's emergency bag, the tools and everything which were required to do the surgery of the injured man. Please continue further.
You have decided to operate, she cried. Yes, he said shortly. He turned his back to her and unfolded a sterilized towel upon the floor of the tokonoma alcove and put his instruments out upon it.
Okay. So tokonoma clove is a literary meaning which means floor or a bed, right? So he turned his back to her and unfolded a sterilized towel upon the floor of the tokonoma clove and put his instruments upon it. So he laid his instruments where he was, because he was about to perform the surgery of the man, which was much required. Otherwise, the man would not be able to survive. Please continue, Charles.
Sadao asked Hannah to get some towels. She went obediently, but how anxious now, to the linen shelves and took out the towels. There ought also be old pieces of matting so that the blood would not ruin the fine floor covering. She went out to the back veranda, where the gardener kept strips of matting with which to protect delicate shrubs on cold nights, and took an armful of them.
So she went obediently and she fetched some towels. There ought to also be old pieces of matting and everything. She went so that to protect the flooring, so that there is no mess created over there, right? So she went out to the black veranda where the gardener kept strips of matting with which to protect delicate shrubs on cold nights and took an armful of them. Please continue further.
But when she went back into the room, she saw this was useless. The blood had already soaked through the packing in the man's wound and had ruined the mat under him. By the time, oh, the mat, she cried. Yes, it is ruined, Sadao replied, as though he did not care. Help me to turn him, he commanded her. She obeyed him with a word, and he began to wash the man's back carefully.
So she obeyed him, and without a word, he began to wash the man's back carefully. Yumi would not wash him, she said. So now she's telling her husband that Yumi denied to wash him. Did you wash him then? Sadao asked, not stopping for a moment, his swift, concise movement. So Dr. Sadao was, he inquired that you washed him, but then doctor was more absorbed in his work because he was performing the operation, he was performing the surgery. Yes, she said. He did not seem to hear her, but she was used to his absorption when he was at work. She wondered for a moment if it mattered to him what was the body upon which he worked so long as it was for the work he did so excellently. So he was so much involved into the work, that was his expertise area, and he did it very much perfectly. Please continue further. You will have to give the anesthetic.
You will have to give the anesthetic if he needs it, he said. She repeated blankly, but never have I. It is easy enough, he said impatiently. He was taking out the packing now, and the blood began to flow more quickly. He peered into the wound with the bright surgeon's light fastened on his forehead. The bullet is still there, he said with cool interest. Now I wonder how deep this wound is. If it is not too deep, it may be that I can get the bullet. But the bleeding is not superficial. He has lost much blood.
Okay. So now Dr. Sadao tells his wife, now just like a doctor needs an assistant or a nurse by his side to pass over the things, to do the bandage, to give anesthesia. So here doctor is all alone doing the surgery, so he needs some help. So he tells his wife, Hannah, that she needs to give anesthesia if it is required. Now, Hannah replied that she had never done that earlier. Anesthesia, we all know that is insensitivity to pain. That gives insensitivity to pain. If some part is operated or some kind of cutting is done, then anesthesia is generally given so that the patient doesn't feels the pain and the work is done easily. So Sadao told Hannah that she would have to inject the injured man with a substance that induces insensitivity to pain. Hannah replied that she had never done that earlier. Sadao said in a haste that it was very easy. So Sadao was removing the packing and now, and the blood started flowing faster because that what they had done there earlier, the wound was covered somehow that to stop to prevent bleeding. Now the blood was flowing faster. So he looked at the wound with the help of the bright searching light fixed on his forehead. He announced that the bullet was inside the man's body. So he wondered at how deep the wound is and whether he could take out the bullet or not. Right? He added that the bleeding was not from the surface, but there was internal bleeding also. There was a lot of blood loss. Right? Please continue further.
At this moment, Hannah choked. He looked up and saw her face, the color of sulphur. Her face, when Hannah saw Sadao inspecting the wound, she could not see the site, and so she coughed. Sadao looked at her and saw that her face was yellowish in color, like the color of sulphur. Don't faint, he said sharply. He did not put down his exploring instrument. If I stop, now the man will surely die. She clapped her hands to her mouth and leaped up and ran out of the room. Outside in the garden, he heard her re- retching, but he went on with his work.
Okay. Now, as I've told you this thing earlier also, that Hannah was not used to watching this surgery being performed. Common people who do not belong to medical field, we cannot see bloodshed and all these things. I mean, blood is flowing and some operation is being conducted. We will not be able to take up because this is something human blood flowing and human body being cut is you need to be very strong, and that is something the people belonging from the medical field are only able to do it. We cannot do it. So Hannah was also feeling very uneasy, and perhaps Dr. Sudao had forgotten that she had never ever seen a surgery being done. So Hannah, in order to ensure not that the doctor is not disturbed, she clapped her hands to her mouth and she ran out of the door. She ran to the garden, and her retching sound could be heard by the doctor. Retching sound means vomiting. So she went out and she vomited, and then she came back. So Dr. Sadao here at this point, he somewhere felt irritated, somewhere he was a bit angry upon that white man who was lying there because he felt that he could not pay attention to his wife who was in trouble right now. Please continue further. Just a second, please. Just give me a pause for a moment. Ankita, continue from this stanza. It will be better for her to empty her stomach.
It will be better for her to empty her stomach, he thought. He had forgotten that, of course, she had never seen an operation. But her distress and his inability to go to her at once made him impatient and irritable with this man who lay like dead under his knife.
Continue reading.
So, this man, he thought, there is no reason under heaven why he should live. Sadao thought that unconsciously, this thought made him ruthless, and he proceeded swiftly. In his dream, the man mourned, but Sadao paid no heed except to mutter at him.
So unconsciously, this thought made him ruthless and he proceeded swiftly. In his dream, the man moaned, but Sadao paid no heed except to mutter at him. The man was moaning out of pain. He was crying out of pain even in that unconscious state. But Dr. Sadao was busy doing his operation and he didn't pay any attention to his moaning. Please continue further.
Groan, he muttered. Groan if you like. I am not doing this for my own pleasure. In fact, I do not know why I am doing it.
Okay, now Dr. Sadao here, he is talking to the unconscious patient who is there in front of him. He's performing surgery upon him. He's performing is operating him, and at the same time he's saying groan. I mean, if you are groaning out of pain, groan if you like. I'm not doing it this for because I like to do it. It's I don't know why I'm doing it. So we find somewhere that Dr. Sadao is also feeling that I'm treating an enemy, but at the same time that human instinct in him, or that the being a doctor, he was not able to leave a man who was just about to die. He knew very well that if he's not giving immediate attention to the man would collapse. So as a doctor, his conscience didn't permitted him to leave the man in his condition and let him die, right? So here that dilemma is still further highlighted in the story. Please continue further.
The door opened and there was Hannah again. Where is the anesthetic? She asked in a clear voice. Sadao motioned with his chin. It is as well that you came back, he said. This fellow is beginning to stir. She had the bottle and some cotton in her hand. But how shall I do it? She asked. Simply saturate the cotton and hold it under her nostrils. Sadao replied without delaying for one moment the intricate detail of his work. When he breathes badly, move it away a little bit. A little.
No, simply saturate the cotton. So he instructed his wife to saturate the cotton with the anesthesia and put it beneath his nostrils so that he can take the smell and he will not be able to feel the pain. Once that anesthesia has its effect upon him, he will not be able to feel the pain. So he can do the surgery easily because he had started moving. Please continue further. Okay, there is a kind of give a pause for a moment, please.